All right, everybody, thanks for joining us here today. Happy Monday. We are streaming live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And today, you're here to learn about what's new at FinLocker. So we've been working hard on our product for the last several years, and we've done a couple of these live demos. Today, we're excited to show you the current state of the product, but we're also going to give you a glimpse into the roadmap, which is not too far out in the future. And so the way this is going to work today is you're going to see a few slides that we're going to kick off and give you an overview. Then I'm going to share the product demo with you, which is a live view of our web experience. Everything we show you today on the web experience, all the features are also in our native mobile app. We'll also give you a tour of the admin portal, which is the back end of FinLocker, which is the access point for all of our clients. Our lenders and loan officers have access to the back end portal to see the activity that's going on inside the consumer locker. And then finally, we'll give you that glimpse into our product feature roadmap, which is right around the corner. So with that, I am going to get into this overview. One second here. I got to close out one of these things. So for those that aren't aware, FinLocker is a B2B2C company and product. We've built a consumer-facing experience that is it helps consumers get financially fit on their homeownership journey. And so I know on this live demo, we've got a number of folks that represent current clients. So we have loan officers that are from our current enterprise clients. We have a lot of prospective clients on here, and I think some interested friends as well. And so what we've really built here is this experience to help lenders and their loan officers reach, assist, engage, and nurture much earlier in a home buyer's process. So for today's demo, I want you to just kind of think about a first-time home buyer who is 6, 12, 18 months from being ready to buy. And our tool is going to help you meaningfully engage that cohort. And so how do we do it? We've taken features that consumers today would get from other financial apps like Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, would have been Mint.com as an example for budgeting and credit improvement. Apps like Zillow, Realtor.com for real estate search and property valuation. And then tools like LendingTree and NerdWallet for product education, specifically for home buying. We brought all those features together in one experience, a native mobile app. We brand the product to our client. So we do enterprise branding for the client, for the lender. And then loan officers are invited into the experience to invite their prospects and consumers into the app. And as we go through the demo, you'll see how we connect the dots between the loan officer, a realtor even, and the consumer. So in addition to the consumer having access to those personal financial tools, the app is going to drive more engagement for you than you probably would get typically from your CRM at the top of the funnel. The engagement that's going to drive on your behalf, and you're seeing this on the screen as an example, is a branded set of communications, both push notifications right to the user's device, but also email notifications that come out from your enterprise brand. So the logo of the lender would be at the top of those emails, and then in the footer is the individual loan officer. And these communications that are going to get pushed from the FinLocker app will be pushed to a consumer when their credit scores change, when their property value changes, if they're already a homeowner and they're tracking the value of their property in the app. You'll see us in the demo. I'm going to talk about how we help a consumer understand their mortgage readiness. And so they'll get alerts as their star rating changes for readiness. And then we have very specific journeys and communication cadences that are driven by various personas of the user. And I'll show you that as well. Now, what's really cool is, in addition to the consumer having those very custom notifications and alerts, on the back end of the platform, each loan officer and the lender also have these real-time alerts. So when a consumer creates an account and they select their persona, which is going to define their journey, if someone says they're ready to buy now, as an example, that's going to be an immediate alert to the loan officer via email. And you're seeing some examples here on the screen of those instant alerts that get pushed out. So when somebody achieves mortgage readiness and gets 4 stars in the app, that's going to be a notification. When their credit score improves, so we tranche a consumer's credit score using the Bureau's defined tiers. And so an example here is someone goes from poor credit to fair credit. That's an instant alert to the loan officer. A couple other alerts are when a user sets a monthly goal for their mortgage payment, as well as setting their credit score target goal. Those are all instant alerts that are sent to the loan officer. And as we go through the demo, as you think about all the data that you're going to see that we are accruing and aggregating on behalf of the consumer in support of their journey towards mortgage readiness, think about how you as an individual loan officer, you as a lender, can use those insights to further personalize your engagement with those prospective home buyers. So in addition to the loan officer being represented in the experience, as you can see here, Travis would be our example on the left of a loan officer. Each loan officer can invite multiple realtor partners into the experience. So each of these pairings, so in this case, Travis and Chris, when Travis invites Chris in as a realtor partner, a unique URL and a unique 8-digit code are created. And so now if Chris, as the realtor partner, is now making this product available to his sphere of influence, his database, his network, when that user clicks that link or uses that 8-digit unique code that ties Chris and Travis together, and they create their account, when they log in, they're going to see the pairing, in this case, of Travis and Chris. So it's important to remember that you have the ability to partner with multiple agents in this experience. And so one of the things that we're super excited about is we have one of our relationships that launched 1 year ago, which is a company called What's a Mortgage. If you're following What's a Mortgage on social, I'm sure you'll recognize Min and the team there. But we launched with What's a Mortgage about a year ago. They branded their version of FinLocker the Wham wallet. And so what did we see in the first 10 months? So we measured May 2023 through February 2024. And this just gives you some quick overview of what we saw. They had everything that happened with the Wham wallet was done at the top of the funnel through social media. So they were creating posts and content mostly around educating consumers on the home buying process. The calls to action in their social media content and posts included download the Wham wallet. And what you see here is they had 5,800 downloads in the first 10 months. 5,000 of those 5,800 were new leads to their database. So meaning they didn't already have these people in the What's a Mortgage database. And most of the you can see most of the consumers, if you look to the right, 40% were in a getting ready category, meaning they identified as not yet ready to buy. I think there was another 20 or so percent that had a recent turn down as well. So like 60% of their users were in this state of not ready at the time that they downloaded the app to buy a home. And so over the 10 months that these users were in the app, we had 22% monthly active users, which meant that in any given month, 22% of the total enrolled accounts were logging in at least once. And then if you want to cut to the chase and you look at the results, in the first 10 months, Wham, What's a Mortgage, had 30 mortgages closed, all purchase transactions. So you can see the top line revenue that was created on their end. And super cool was also this fact that 12 of the purchase closings that were in that 30, they were able to refer to one or more of their agent partners, and those agents actually closed transactions as a result. So just a powerful use case here and case study on a very specific use case, top of the funnel, educating through social media, using the wallet, the WAM wallet in this case, which is FinLocker, as that lead magnet, if you will, the call to action that drew the user, the consumer, deeper into the engagement. Just a few testimonials here from some of our existing clients. Ryan Grant at Neo Home Loans, his model is really around adding value to their customers after closing and really having a customer for life engagement. And the tools in the Neo experience, which is their branded version of FinLocker, really support that mission for Neo and for Ryan's team. And then if you're out there looking at the App Store, these are some of the brands and logos you'd see in the App Store. And so I share this just to remind you that when we deploy the product for our enterprise clients, it's not only a white label branded solution, but we also are publishing all of the technology as a native mobile app to both Apple and Google Play. So this becomes your app in the App Store. So as I get into the product, I'll have you just think about a couple of the personas, and we're going to really focus, like I said, on the first-time home buyer, that 6+ months from being ready. But there's also a use case for mortgage turndowns. I'm sure there's, all of us have folks that come into our sales pipeline, and either through a formal, application and evaluation or a conversation, we learn that that user is not yet ready. And so the mortgage turndowns is a very viable use case at the top of the funnel. We talked about the lead acquisition, through social media, calls to action as another turndown. But I'll ask you to pay attention as we do the demo on some of the features that really would help and will help keep your past clients engaged with you, not just around their property and the property value, but around the home they own, the property value, the equity they're building up, but also their other, the other aspects of that family, that consumer's financial life, like monitoring their credit, tracking their financial health and net worth, et cetera. And you'll see that come through as well. So with that, we are going to pivot into our product demo, and I'm going to hide from the screen so you can see the full screen of the demo here. So what we're looking at on screen is the branded version of FinLocker on the web. And I'll remind you that everything I'm showing you here on this web version is also available. All these features are in our mobile app. So our consumer here is Chris. Chris is now coming back into the app. Chris has been, just to set the tone, Chris has been using it. He was invited by his loan officer. He's been using it to kind of track his mortgage readiness. And this is the dashboard, the portal, if you will, that Chris sees when he logs in. The dashboard is a series of widgets, and I'll work from top to bottom. I'm going to come back and go into more detail into this homeownership snapshot in a moment. But starting from the top, we have a quick step-by-step guide that's meant for that first-time home buyer. And this is set up so that it can be configured by the lender, by our client. And so it's got all the steps that a user would need to go through as they're preparing for home ownership. But we'll go back to the dashboard and navigate our way down. We bring in the 30-year fixed indexed rate via an integration that we have with Optimal Blue. So you can see here today, the index rate that we're bringing in for the 30-year fix is 7.1%. We use that throughout the app, and I'll point that out. Our homeownership snapshot, I'm going to come back to this and tell the story here of a first-time home buyer using this. But then we get down into the tools that are available to the user, to the consumer, to the prospective home buyer. So the user has access to this credit widget. The consumer is prompted to connect their credit. Adding their credit to this app is very simple. It's the last 4 digits of their social, first name, last name, current address, and this widget comes to life. The credit score updates every 7 days. And so if you recall, when I was pivoting through the slides, we use those data changes as a strategy to notify and engage and bring the user back into the app. So credit score is one of those opportunities to engage the consumer, bringing back into the app. Beyond credit score, which again updates every 7 days, the user can go a layer deeper into their credit and see how their score impacts the potential interest rate they may be eligible for. And so we've overlaid the GSE, Fannie, Freddie credit score overlays as it relates to pricing into this grid. You can see here our user with their 803 scores at the far end of the spectrum for having the lowest rate available. But if someone started, lower in the credit spectrum, they could see the impact to improving their score on rate and potentially on payment as well. But I'm going to scroll down a little bit deeper and show you how we take data from the consumer's credit profile and build visualizations for the user that are very intuitive for them. So these credit factors, everyone's familiar with the impact that pay history has on credit score, but fewer consumers especially understand the impact that utilization has on their score. And so if I click into utilization, quickly the user can see, in this case, they've optimized or maximized their credit score impact by keeping their overall utilization, in this case, below 30% at 8%. And then they could see the visualization to the right of each of their accounts inside of their credit. They can also see the impact of their age, their credit age, and then also total accounts. But I want to point a couple things out here that are also important for engagement. So when a user is prompted to connect their credit, once they've created their account, they are now going to have real-time credit monitoring and alerts. So any inquiry on their credit, hard inquiries, would be immediately a push notification. An email notification would go to the user, alerting them that there's been an inquiry on their credit profile. Could be, an inquiry for new credit. It could be an account open, account closed, or an account went delinquent. Those are all immediate alerts to the user, to the consumer. And then the other thing I'll show you is on top of the consumer's credit data, we have 2 tools here. These are highly engaging tools, especially for first-time home buyers. We have Credit Compass that allows the user to set a goal. And in this case, I'm going to set a goal, sorry about that, of let's just say 840. So we're going to set a new target. The app is now going to register that this user has set a goal to increase their score to 840. It's going to give them a view of what actions they could take to improve their score. So Credit Compass is one tool that we have here. The second is Credit Simulator. Credit Simulator, most of our loan officers who are watching are familiar with the what if scenarios that are out there. This Credit Simulator is a DIY version for a user. So I'm going to model the impact to this user's credit score if they were to reduce their balances across their credit profile by $25,000. And you can see here, the simulator is going to return a value of an increase of 13 points to their credit score. And what's happening here is when the user creates this what if scenario, we are then pushing the data back to TransUnion, hitting their algorithm and bringing back that factor here of a 13-point increase. So if you think about this in the context, again, of an early journey first-time home buyer, most of these first-time home buyers start by understanding where their credit is and how they may need to improve their credit. And so using the simulator is a great way to do it. They could simulate paying off all cards. They could change their credit limits on here. They could even change pay history and show the inverse. What would happen if I let a number of accounts go delinquent and run those through the simulator. So highly engaging tools around consumer credit. the next set of tools are built around the consumer's financial accounts. So the user is prompted to connect their financial accounts. And when we talk about financial accounts, we're talking about both sides of the personal ledger, assets and liabilities. So on the asset side, it's checking, savings, investment, 401k, IRA, life insurance policies, et cetera. On the liability side, it's gas cards, charge cards, personal loans, credit cards, student loans, auto loans, mortgage loans, et cetera. And once the consumer connects their accounts, which is very simple, they are prompted to add an account, just like you would if you were linking an account in your Venmo or something. The consumer would credential in. Once they connect their account, which I'm not going to do here, the user would most likely get a text from the bank, in this case from ViStar Credit Union, and they would be prompted to input typically a 5 or 6 digit MFA code, and then that account would be linked. And then the app, the FinLocker app, is bringing in all of the financial account data from those linked accounts and basically rendering for this user kind of a single pane of glass view of their financial life, including all of their finances by asset class, cash, investments, and real estate, as well as liabilities, and then a quick view of net worth. And then we calculate debt to income ratio and cumulative savings over time, because those are important for a first-time home buyer. And then if we just look real quick, these tiles across the top of this screen represent individual linked bank accounts and other, like auto loans, credit cards, et cetera. And then below is all of the transactional data from each of those accounts. So what we talk about a lot is early journey first-time home buyers. Before they can really create a budget, they need to know where they're spending their money. And so we have a quick view of spending for the user to see all of their spending across all of their linked accounts. So in this case, if I just wanted to drill into food and dining, it would be this green bar here. And now I can see food and dining spending across the right-hand side of the screen. Go back to the dashboard and keep scrolling down. The next set of widgets are built around real estate property. So it's a combination of properties I own and then real estate search. And so this is where I'll ask you to think a little bit differently, not necessarily about a first-time home buyer for a moment, but maybe perhaps a consumer who's already a homeowner or a past client. That consumer is able to connect their property in the app. It's a simple connection. The property address gets input, and then we are bringing in a bank-rated AVM. Okay, we got the Wi-Fi going funny here. 1 second. Live demos, latency on StreamYard in effect here. So bear with me. So here's our linked property. You can see the property in this case is located in New Orleans. The user identified this particular property as a primary residence. Here's our bank-rated AVM. We have an integration with Radian's Home Genius product, which was where we're getting the valuation from. The note here to the right, our users also connected directly to their mortgage. And I want to stay on this for a moment. There's other tools and platforms that people use to engage with clients, particularly past clients, centered around property valuation. And the FinLocker tool is doing that and doing it in a little different way. So most of the tools that are out there that engage on property valuation are either doing an amortization calculation backwards from the recorded deed of trust or mortgage and calculating kind of the likely balance. Others might be looking at a credit report, and those could be 30 to 60, 90 days old in terms of reporting. The FinLocker app prompts the consumer to link directly to their mortgage account. So if their mortgage is with Mr. Cooper, as an example, they would be prompted to link directly to that Mr. Cooper mortgage servicing account. And then we bring in the balance and the data from that account. So in this case, you can see on the screen, we have a current balance, $900, $539 and 37 cents. Current interest rates also coming in. And so what's important here is when we represent the estimated available equity, in this case, the 195, 176, the calculation is the AVM value less the current balance. So if a payment was posted yesterday on this mortgage account, it would be reflected today and the user would have a very dynamic and up-to-date view of their available equity. Additionally, consumers can load other properties that they may own, like an investment property. Here's an example of an investment property. No, there's no mortgage linked on this one, so presumably they paid cash for it. So you can, I believe, have up to 6 properties linked in the app at any given time. But let's pivot now to that first-time home buyer, and we provide an embedded real estate search experience, also powered by our integration with Radian's Home Genius real estate product. And so I just went into the zip code here in Novi where I live, and I'm going to do a quick filter and show you, in addition to filtering on sale price, beds and bath, all the things that are standard in a typical search. The Home Genius platform allows users to go a layer deeper and actually create a filter that is based on images. So in this case, here's an example of a kitchen that I'd like to have as I search for new homes. So I upload the image to the search experience, and the AI on this Home Genius platform is going to say, okay, we found a kitchen. We found properties that have kitchens that are similar to this photo, that have a stone countertop, stainless steel dishwasher, wood flooring, hanging lights, a range hood, kitchen island. The range is stainless, the refrigerator is stainless. So the image itself, the AI in the search platform is going and identifying all these features and including those now in the filter. And if we apply those, we're going to see properties that are matches, not only to my price range, my beds and bath, but also to that image that I uploaded as well. And that's what you see here as I scroll through the search. So a very cool feature that goes, I'll say above and beyond the traditional or typical real estate search experience you might see on one or more of the other portal products. And if you didn't gather this already, when users are doing searches inside of your branded version of FinLocker, they're staying in your ecosystem, right? They're not going to other platforms where they're going to be, basically become a lead and sold to other lenders. So having all these tools embedded in one single experience keeps your prospects and customers in your ecosystem. Let me show you real quick what happens when consumers or home buyers favorite properties through their search, right? So here's an example of several saved or favorited properties. And we now are overlaying the consumer's financial budget, what they could qualify for, and the estimated payment using that national average rate that I showed you on the onset. And in this case, we're combining the search experience, favoriting a property to the right, with the financial readiness for this particular property, breaking down the estimated payment, the down payment. This was something that the user told us in their profile. They've got 5%, that they want to have for a down payment, et cetera. And they can have multiple favorited properties. Each will have that same view, and you can see the payment changes as we change the property. And then just for a big contrast, here's a significantly pricier property, and you can see that the payment adjusts accordingly. So saved search that layers on financial readiness, another very unique feature of the FinLocker product. And again, that real estate search and valuation comes through our partnership and integration with the Home Genius platform through Radian. Okay, we talked about the ability for a loan officer to partner with an agent. This is the view inside the app of what that looks like for the user. And again, just a reminder, the consumer, everything you're seeing in the app or in this web view is also available in the native mobile app. So here's Ethan, the loan officer, all of his contact information, a quick link to contact Ethan, also a link to get to Ethan's schedule. If I wanted to schedule a meeting, it would go right to Ethan's scheduler, and I could go ahead and schedule a meeting right from the app. But in this case, Chris is a partnered real estate agent of Ethan's that Ethan has invited into the experience. And so again, that user that comes in and is using that unique URL or agent, that unique 8-digit agent code, when they create their account, they're always going to see, in this case, Ethan and Chris paired in the experience. All right, so let's go into our homeownership snapshot. So at the very top, you see we've got 1 star out of 4. We use a 4-star grading system. We measure a consumer on essentially 4 dimensions towards mortgage readiness. Cash to close. Do they have enough money in the accounts in the app to meet their stated goal for down payment and closing costs? Employment. Credit score. We use a proxy score of 640 as being mortgage ready. And then we're actually calculating the monthly housing and total debt to income ratio. And we use 43.5 as kind of a proxy for readiness. So you see our user here has 1 star. They've been employed for at least 2 consecutive years, but they have 3 wrenches. These wrenches aren't necessarily bad. They just mean there's work to be done. And so we take these wrenches and we convert those wrenches into an action plan. The action plan then guides the user to specific tools and or the lender, the loan officer, to address those areas that they're short or not quite ready for applying successfully for a mortgage. So in this case, because of the credit score being low or below 640, we're going to take them to our Compass and Credit Simulator, which I showed you. Because their DTI is a little high, we're going to take them to our spending analysis, which also takes them right into our budgeting tools. And then, so the app is going to continually evaluate that user against their data in the app, and then offer them or remind them of these available tools in the app to address those areas where they're not quite ready. I'm going to note this as well. I'm hovering over this Share with Lender button at the top. Throughout the experience, we have several quick buttons, if you will, that allow consumers to share immediately with their loan officer. And so if I were to click Share with Lender, a snapshot, if you will, of this screen would be sent to the loan officer, kind of letting them know I'm at a 1 star. And so that's an opportunity for the loan officer to obviously reach out and engage with that user to kind of help them stay on track, get on track towards mortgage readiness. So now I'm going to show you what happens when someone becomes mortgage ready. They get that 4-star rating. So before we went live, I prefigured the app so it gave us a 1-star view of somebody. Now I'm going to show what happens when we use their linked banking data. So in this case, I'm clicking this link and it's noting that we already have financial accounts, bank accounts in this app that have 130,790. Would I like to use those? Yes. So I just linked to the bank accounts. I'm going to manually change the income right here. And then the same for credit score. The app is noting there's a score of 803 in here. Would we like to use it? Yes, we will. And then I'm going to view my snapshot. Before I click view my snapshot, though, what we find is that consumers, especially those early journey first-time home buyers, are using this as a souped up version of a calculator. So in here, they can see how much home they can afford, and they can kind of change their state. Let's say in this case, instead of Louisiana, I'm buying in Michigan. Based on my income, I'm willing to kind of have more of an aggressive approach. So that's going to take my affordability up to 756. And I'll just shake that bar back again. You can see it'll take, if I go into the middle range, takes us down to about 580. If the user wants to change their available, how much they have for, or what they're willing to put for a down payment, they can input that here. They can manually input their monthly debts. If they wanted to override their score, they could do that here. But I'm going to go from here into our readiness view. And now, with any luck, we're going to go from 1 star to 4 stars. And if you remember in the screen, the slides I went through earlier, the going from a star rating of 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 will send an alert to the consumer, but also an alert to the loan officer. So in this case, you can see we've got our digital confetti. Congratulations, you've earned your 4 stars. See what's next. And so now instead of seeing those wrenches having work to do, we now have 4 stars. And if I go down to our action plan, now you'll see instead of taking the user to the credit improvement tools or the budgeting tools, we take them to our embedded real estate search experience, some articles and reminders. And then again, we always, always, always have the loan officer front and center in the experience. So basically, I just took you through a view of a prospective first-time home buyer, how they're using the tools over a period of time to get themselves mortgage ready. What I'm going to do now is pivot back to our slides, and Chris is going to, or Adrian is going to take you through the back end view, the admin portal view of the FinLocker platform.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. Everyone, I'm Adrian, VP of Sales here at FinLocker. Excited to be here today talking about the admin portal. So all these awesome features that Brian just went through is great, but it's really nothing if we can't get the data to really support what what we're seeing. So with the admin side of this, the loan officers are able to see all of this detail. They're going to be able to see their total registered lockers, how much that has increased month over month. This popular journey tag is very similar to that question that we're asking. Where are you in your current home ownership journey? Are you not looking, overcoming challenges, ready? We're going to show you where your clients are sitting within that journey. We're also going to be able to see those recent registrations in a graph to be able to see kind of how our time has been spread out and how our clients are going to join our app. But we also see recent activity. So all those activity features that we're going to be touching on, we'll see throughout the journey. Now, we'll also be able to get to our credit scores from the screen as well. So we're going to see how our clients are falling within their credit scores. We know that if we have people in the zeros over here, about 33%, we've got a lot of work to do, right? We can help push our clients. But we also get to see individuals and their credit score here, knowing who to reach out to, when to reach out to them, and get them over that last hurdle. That star distribution that Brian was just talking about, we can see what percentage of our clients are sitting within those stars. So we know that a majority of our clients are sitting in that 2-star range, and we can drill down into that in even more detail. We could break down into our clients one at a time. So this particular client here, we can see all of their activity. We can see their usage. We can see how many times they've run readiness. If they ran it over one time, you'll see 4 or 5, all these options here to be able to get a good feel on how Chris is progressing towards home ownership. If we're missing a star here, we can even reach out to this individual and say, hey, it looks like you've overcome 2 stars. How can we get you to those next 2 stars? Let's get you moving forward. All this information at your fingertips for you guys to go ahead and go after these clients. So let's talk a little bit about pricing. When we are showing this product off to loan officers or really anybody, the question comes down to, do these consumers have to pay to utilize this experience? And the answer is no. This is going to be covered by the team to offer this over to the client, so they will never be asked to pay for anything. We also won't be selling any of their data, so the data is going to be sticking within their FinLocker instance. Now, what FinLocker offers is flexible, customizable license processes. So what that means is with the pricing model, we can do this through client or member pricing. We can do this through loan officer pricing. I know there's a lot of loan officers that are joining us today, and there's a good chance that who you work for is a partner of FinLocker. So reach out to us. We can get you set up. We can show you what that pricing model looks like. For individuals that are thinking, hey, this would be great for my company, we can offer this flexible pricing for you guys. A couple benefits of the enterprise account. Well, we have dedicated account managers that are going to help with onboarding, the training, the implementation. Once again, this is a private labeled app on both Google and Apple. Our team is awesome at getting you guys all set up. We have automatic updates, new features, marketing collateral, API documentation for CRM integrations. All of this is going to be included in an enterprise account with FinLocker. without further ado, Chris, take it for the
All
product.
right. Thanks, Adrian. Hi, everyone. I'm Chris Hayes, and I run the customer success group here at FinLocker. So I do, me and my team handle all the onboardings, the trainings, implementations, and part of the ongoing account management is getting product feedback from our clients that we incorporate into our roadmap. So some of the stuff I'm going to show you through here actually did come from ideas from our clients. In addition to that, we do a lot of consumer testing that drives our product roadmap. And one of the first things I wanted to show you, this one's coming soon. This will be out within the next couple of months. And what this is educating consumers on opting out of trigger leads. So the pre-screen opt-outs. For any of you, I think a lot of us have been through that where you pulled they ran your credit and you start getting hit up by every lender, every scam artist, everyone just calling you, blowing up your phone. So what we're doing is we're just educating the consumer through the experience when they enroll in credit, or if they've already enrolled in credit, we can send them a notification, an email notification, just educating what it's about. And if they'd like to take action, we kind of make an easy flow to guide them through the process. So excited about that. That one will be coming soon. I'm going to move on to the next one. And this next one is, BV already showed you this within the app that actually just got released. So we enrolling multiple properties for the valuation and linking mortgages. It's in our web experience today. It's going to be coming soon within the mobile experience. So that's why we're kind of showing it's still coming. What you'll see in a lot of our product development, we released in the web first and then in a follow-up release within mobile. Same concept going to this next one. BB showed you this. This is where a consumer can favorite properties. They can get updates on properties. But as soon as they favorite a property, we run this readiness assessment. So to give them just some good information on what they can expect for a monthly payment in terms on that particular property. So that, again, is live in web today for all of you guys using the platform, and it will be coming in mobile here very soon. Moving on to the next one. So this is a view. Adrian was showing you some of our backend, the dashboard, and the different portals. What I want to really call out is where you see under homeownership journey and the properties enrolled, saved home history, property search history. We actually just, the two ones on the left, properties enrolled and saved home history, we just added that to the admin portal Wednesday of last week. The third one, you'll see columns there. For those of you existing, you'll see the column there. It's not activated in terms of a data feed yet. But what we're doing is we're giving you information related to the properties and the search activity. So when they're favoring properties, if they're specifying a search, we're giving you the view as a loan officer and the lender, what that consumer is after, what they're trying to achieve. So that's there. But then what's coming soon is, so today when a consumer is searching for properties, you as a loan officer get notified, and so does the agent. Well, we're going to be notifying both loan officer and agents when some of this activity happens, when they're favoring properties or looking in particular areas, just giving you a better idea of what that consumer is trying to achieve and how you can help them. Moving on. So here is an example. Oh, I think I clicked one slide too fast. There we go. All right, so this is an upgraded, refreshed version of our first-time home buyer, first-time consumer experience. So when they get into the app, currently today, they're asked what their objectives are, where they're at in their homeownership journey. Today, it's ready, getting ready, overcoming challenges, or not looking. We broke that up in just a little bit more fine-grained because that getting ready could be a little bit different. So we added this just getting started. I mean, I'm just dipping my toe in the water, seeing what's out there, then qualifying for mortgage, and then going down to seeing if they already own a home. Now, as we're learning that, we're sharing that with you as a lender and the loan officer, what they're trying to achieve. But then we're going to take it one step a little bit further. So this is representative of someone that's looking to starting to plan to purchase. But these questions would be different based on the persona type. So we're just trying to, one, glean more what they're trying to do as the consumer. So then we can help personalize the app, about the app and the messaging, but then also provide that information to you as a loan officer so you can start building trust and learning what's going on with that consumer. What are they trying to achieve? That brings us into when I talk about personalization. So because the consumer is now telling us what they're trying to achieve, what they're trying to do, we'll be able to offer more personalized step-by-step guide. So someone who already own a home and just trying to monitor their whole thing, and they're not looking to purchase in a short time frame, is going to be different than somebody who is just getting ready, or first-time home buyer, someone who's getting turned down. So the whole idea is that the app is going to get far more personalized for the consumer based on their objectives. And then today, the consumer can set their target monthly payment, and we give recommendations on how they can get to that targeted monthly payment. We're going to be blowing that out a little bit more in terms of just how they can track against that. So as they're favoring properties, as they're running a readiness assessment, helping them achieve and getting to that target payment, also sharing with you as the lender and the loan officer what they're trying to do within that scenario. And lastly, we are going to be blowing out our education area. So we have some of that in there. There's some good videos and stuff to watch. There's just going to be a whole resource section that consumers can go find, educate themselves on anything they need, raise their hand, ask questions to you. And most importantly, keeping them out of Googling and getting sucked up into the lending tree type funnel or others where, a lot of that information is served up, but then the whole idea is, clicking through to capture the data and then reach out to that consumer. So idea is just giving them everything they need within the app to keep within there. We got a lot more coming over the course of the year, but everything I've showed you is really within the next quarter is going to, next 2 to 3 months is all going to be in place. So really excited for this and happy to share it with all of you. If anybody, for all those of your existing clients and want to learn more, you probably have my contact info, but our next slide we're going to throw up here has all of our contact info so you can get in touch with any one of us.
Hey, Chris, can you take the question from Joe here? Is there pre-built consumer-facing and realtor-facing marketing to explain the value of utilizing the app and or referring clients that are not yet ready?
Yes, great question. So we have, as you become on a client, we have our resource center that has a lot of that information that you can take and use and take and modify and edit. So when you onboard, you don't have to come up with your own creative content. We already have pre-built stuff ready for you to take and use in terms of inviting the consumer in there. Now, when the consumer does register, our product takes over. You don't even have to think about it. It takes over, and we identify who they are, what they're trying to achieve, and those notifications are tailored towards that persona type. But yes, there's all sorts of examples on distribution examples, whether that be written content, video ideas, flyers, all that good stuff.
Awesome. I'm going to flash another one up. April, hello. So April's question, how do we find out if our company is connected to FinLocker at this time? Best thing you can do is send an email to Adrian or Chris or myself and tell us who you work for, and we'll tell you if they're set up. We've got roughly 30 enterprise lenders today, some of the larger lenders out there. So there's a chance that your company is set up. But if not, and there's interest, the process to get a company set up it's 6 to 8 weeks. Most of that is on the mobile app development side, but it's definitely doable. We got a couple more questions here. I love when we can get a engaging webinar. So let's see what Mike has to say. Would love to see a first-time homebuyer seminar webinar deck using the same look, feel, terms that LO would use. So we have done, yeah, Mike, you nailed it, man. We've done this for one of our clients where we've created a webinar geared towards first-time home buyers and built the presentation cadence and the deck, kind of sequentially with the tools in the app. And we actually took it to another level. We brought in a credit expert to be in the presentation and really go a layer deeper on providing credit, knowledge and expertise to the prospective home buyers. So what I would say is we have a template of a first-time home buyer kind of presentation. Every lender and a lot of loan officers have their own kind of version of it. But if you're an existing client and you want to partner with us and create a deck that is kind of in your tone, in your flow, we can work with you as well on that. I see Darren Kaplan has joined us. He's fresh off the pickleball court. Thank you, Darren. We're excited to get Total Mortgage up and running here pretty quickly. I don't know if we got to this question from Marty. Are you still connecting consumers with HUD-approved counseling agencies? So today we don't have a connection with anybody that gets consumers directly connected to HUD-approved counselors. We have several conversations that are happening with state housing authorities or agencies. We're exploring how best to partner with credit coaching, credit counseling, housing counseling agencies. So Marty, if you have some thoughts, we'd love to kind of take it offline and get your thoughts and ideas. Let's see here. I think we've covered all of the questions. So look at, we are very proud of our product. We're extremely grateful for all of our clients that trust us with your consumer clients. We've got great traction happening today. I showed you a glimpse of one of our clients and the success that they're realizing from their version of the app. We'd love to engage with any and all of you. We're happy to do one-off presentation demos. We'll do demos for teams of sales folks. Basically any of the 3 names here on the screen, we can help you out. Hopefully you saw the banner earlier with the friends and family FinLocker, little pun play on words. You're welcome to download the FinLocker app from the Apple Store or Google Play Store and use code DEMO2024, and you can see the exact consumer experience that you would see if you were a current client or your company was an enterprise client of FinLocker. It's a great way to kind of test drive the product. We're towards the top of the hour. I do want to be respectful of everybody's time. Thank you all for showing up today. This recording, this will live on LinkedIn as a accessible demo recording. We're also going to load it on our YouTube channel, and we'll have a link on our website probably in the next week or so as well. But just thank you all for joining, and I hope everybody has a wonderful week.